Hello students, today we'll start with exercise 10.4. Find magnitude of A cross B. If A is defined and B is defined for us, then we have the solution. I hope even you have solved this question. If vector A is defined and B with the proper symbol A cross B with the expansion of 3 cross 3 determinant, I got the answer as 0i plus 19j plus 19k. So A cross B is nothing but 19j plus 19k. Regarding magnitude, square root of 19 square plus 19 square. Final answer I should say it is 19 square root of 2. Next question, you can read the question from a text. Find a unit vector perpendicular to each of the vector A plus B and A minus B, where A is defined 3, 2, 2 and B is defined 1, 2, minus 2. So formula, regarding this formula last video also we have discussed. Let's claim for the formula first. N cap is plus or minus of A plus B cross A minus B divided by the magnitude. So it's nothing but plus or minus of P cross Q divided by magnitude of P cross Q, provided if you want to go for this formula is also okay. Where further you have to say P is A plus B, Q is A minus B. So I have taken the formula according to this, and simplification also I have done it according to the A plus B and with the same symbols only. So A plus B I have done it here first. Simple calculation A plus B accordingly. A minus B also simple calculation. Once we have these two vector, according to requirement, let me go for cross and then the magnitude. So to speak about the cross product, we have determinant expansion. So determinant expansion says A plus B cross A minus B. I simplified it for you. I got the answer 16i minus 16j minus 8k. Regarding its magnitude, I got the answer root 576. It's a perfect square, 24. So everything will be substituted back in the formula. We have plus or minus of 16i minus 16j minus 8k divided by 24. So in the numerator I find 8 is common available. So which I taken out. Left out with 2, 2 and 1 here with the proper symbol plus minus minus divided by 24. So simplification has been done here. We have plus or minus of 2i minus 2j minus k divided by 3. Third question, you can read from your text. If a unit vector A makes an angle pi by 3 with I cap, pi by 4 with j cap and an acute angle theta with k. So along with x axis 60 degree, y axis 45 degree and along the z axis unknown angle, and they say it is a unit vector. So you are supposed to find the angle inclined by this unit vector with z axis theta, the given data, the given term, and hence the components of a cap, which is nothing but unit vector only. So regarding alpha, beta, gamma, so can I say that this pi by 3, pi by 4 and theta, they are representing directional angles. So how to write the answer? A cap, vector A is question mark. Even you can make use of symbol A cap is question mark for us. Where angles are given pi by 3, pi by 4 and theta. So A cap, regarding this A cap, even if I take it as x, y, z, we know it very well. Direction cosines are the components, scalar components of unit vector. Regarding the definition of direction cosine, already we discussed. So based on this, cos alpha I have calculated here, it's cos pi by 3, 1 by 2. Cos beta pi by 4, I have substituted the value, I got 1 here. Cos gamma, cos theta is unknown for us. So with respect to direction cosines, we know the relation, that is a cos square alpha plus cos square beta plus cos square gamma is equal to 1. So we have half of square plus 1 by root 2 whole square plus cos square theta is equal to 1. So cos square theta is equal to, the calculation part is of course you can do it from your side also. We have 1 minus 1 by 4, this is the squared it here and then transferred we have 1 by 2. The whole simplification, you can go for LCM also, whereas orally also can do the calculation, it's 1 minus half, positive half minus 1 by 4, half chapati minus 1/4 chapati is 1/4 chapati. So cos theta plus or minus I should say it is 1 by 2 and theta is acute. We know it very well. If cos theta is acute, that means cos theta should be positive, and if I claim it for negative, that means it's an obtuse angle, second quadrant. Cos is negative in second quadrant. So because this is given to us, it's an acute angle, minus will be rejected, and let's conclude cos theta is 1 by 2 because theta is acute. So based on this, I can say theta is pi by 3 or even I can say 60 degrees also. So finally I should conclude this is one part, but one more question is also asked over there. How to write a cap? A cap is cos alpha, cos I, of course, cos beta j plus cos gamma k. Earlier also I claimed it. Accordingly, I should say it is 1 by 2, 1 by root 2 and 1 by 2. Fourth question is important for exam. They ask us to go for, you can read the question from my text. Show that vector A minus vector B cross vector A plus vector B is double 2 times of A cross B. So I went for the LHS part, important question. Once this question has occurred in the board exam, we have A minus B cross A plus B. So term by term multiplication, we have A cross A plus A cross B minus B cross A minus B cross B. So we know it very well, A cross A, null vector, here also null vector. Whereas A cross B, and this can be balanced with minus, with the relation minus of A cross B, it's minus of minus plus, we have A cross B. So overall these two are like terms which can be simplified as double of A cross B, that itself is RHS part. So fifth question, you can read the question, okay, here we have, find lambda and mu if 2y plus 6j plus 27k cross I plus lambda j plus mu k is a null vector. The solution here we have. So they say cross product, once again cross. So whenever cross is being given, when numerical terms are given, numerical coefficient, the whole vector is defined with the components, the only one option for you left out is determinant expansion. They said it is equal to null vector is also given condition for us. So let's expand it, but you have to equate it to null vector. So go for expansion, I kept as it is 6 mu minus 27 lambda minus j, close it, we have 2 mu minus 27 plus k cap, close it, we have 2 lambda minus 6 is equal to 0. 0 vector, 0 vector means 0 I cap plus 0 j cap plus 0 k cap. Provide if I claim it for two vectors are equal. I am using the word equal vectors. Earlier also I discussed equal vectors. Based on that, by comparing 6 mu minus 27 lambda should be compared with I coefficient it is 0. Similarly, minus to be included here, it will not make much difference because we are safer side, RHS is 0. Still, proper comparing, I should say, minus of bracket 2 mu minus 27 is equal to 0. By comparing, we have one more result here. Followed by, I should say, 2 lambda minus 6 is equal to 0. So, out of the three equation I find here, a linear equation in terms of mu can be solved. Linear equation in terms of lambda can be solved easily. So I could calculate the answer here, 2 mu minus 27 is equal to 0 minus transport. Mu is 27 by 2. Here lambda is 6 by 2, of course lambda is 3. So these two data, these two equations were sufficient to go for two unknown terms, lambda as well as mu. The third equation is kept as it is for the time being. So we can verify the answer by putting the values here for this condition, but not required here. So these two are the required solutions for the given question. So sixth question, you can read the question from a text. Okay, let me come here better. Given A dot B is 0, dot product is 0. And regarding this also in a previous video, I had discussed when we say A dot B is 0. They also say that A cross B is a null vector. What you can conclude about the vectors A and B? So before I go for the sixth question, I think one note I have to discuss here. Provided if I say A cross B is null vector, then tell me when it is possible. What's the definition of A cross B? Definition of A cross B says magnitude of vector A, magnitude of vector B into sine theta into n cap. So the whole regarding n cap I cannot consider because direction it speaks about. Whereas A cross B, if it has to be null vector, then length of A, length of B, sine theta. Among these three terms if I discuss, I find that either any one vector should be null vector, that is vector A can be 0 or vector B can be 0. There is one more possibility, vector A is not the null vector provided vector B is not the null vector, then sine theta has to be considered as 0. This is only one option which will make the whole quantity as 0. For this, angle should be 0 degree. So angle between A and B, if it is 0 degree, obviously I have to speak about those two vectors are parallel. I mean collinear vectors. Got it? So that means if vector A is parallel to vector B, then cross is null vector. Any one is null vector, then also cross product is null vector. But if this is true, then there are two possibilities. A similar type of condition, a similar type of note earlier also discussed regarding the dot product. Please have a glance, once again go through and let's go for the sixth question. So which I discussed it here also. Given if A dot product is 0, then either A should be null, we know it very well, or B should be null vector. One more possibility we have, those two vectors are perpendicular if they are not equal to null vectors. Also given cross product is null vector, then either A is null vector or B is null vector. One more possibility, vector A is parallel to vector B provided this condition. So from 1 and 2 I find that vector A and vector B, this dot says perpendicularity, this speaks about parallel, and it is the common I would like to go for. From the given data I would like to pick out the common condition. So from 1 and 2 hardly it is possible for the two vector, cannot be the perpendicular and parallel simultaneously. Therefore we are left out with a common conclusion that either vector A should be null vector, a common condition, or vector B should be null vector to fulfill both the conditions, that is dot is also 0 and cross product is also 0 vector. So therefore I should say vector A is null vector or vector B is null vector. So next question, okay, 7th question I'll leave it as homework for you. It's a theoretical part. Just the components are given. Just go for proving of LHS towards RHS. Homework question. Just go for it. B plus C perform. B plus C, P1 plus P2 perform it, then cross you approach, cross product, and provide if you know the, if I'm correct, if you're perfect in the properties of determinants, then I think this question will be much easier for you to prove from LHS to RHS, but still for time being, you can just attempt this question. But after discussing properties of determinant chapter, I think this question will be more convenient for you. For timing homework, just try for this question. Whereas 8th question here we have, once again based on the same concept, if either A is null vector or B is null vector, then A cross B is null vector. Is a converse true? Justify our answer with an example. So to begin with, just now I discussed for, okay, here we have 8th question. If A is null vector or B is null vector, then definitely A cross B is null vector. But the converse need not to be true, because if A cross B is null vector, then there are two possibilities. Either A should be null vector or B should be null vector. Second possibility, that is the two vectors can be parallel also. So provide, and for this I should say both are not equal to null vector. To justify this I have given, I have taken an example, and parallel means I should say it is a collinear vector. So vector A I have taken 2, 3, 4. You can take your own example also. While selecting B, just go for the proportionate values. I mean proportional values. 2 2s are 4, 6 and 8. Here vector B is equal to 2 times vector A, double of this, and this is speaking about the collinear condition which already were discussed. And based on this condition, based on this result, I can say that B and vector A collinear, and this itself says that the two vectors are parallel. Okay, but I was justifying for this question, and therefore I also find that A cross B is a null vector. But tell me why I should say A cross B is null vector. Again, this I am justifying here because in the properties of determinants chapter, we have a condition, we have a rule, we have a property which says that if two rows are identical or proportionate, the determinant value is 0. So I am supporting that part here, and also I am concluding the answer by saying that A cross B is null vector. So this should be the answer. So 8th question. Okay. Now back to the 9th question. You say find the area of the triangle with vertices A, B and C. Okay. So to find the area of triangle, already we have come across the formula. Position vector has to be taken. It's OA, OB as well as OC. Formula, we have half of magnitude of A cross B square units. So formula I have taken, and adjacent sides are selected as AB as well as AC. So formula we have AB, OB minus OA, AC, OC minus OA. We have 1, 2, 3 and 0, 4, 3. So I went for the cross product here. We have 1, 2, 3, 0, 4, 3. I simplified it, and my calculation says minus 6i minus 3j plus 4k. Do it once from your side, then you verify the answer. Regarding magnitude, I got root 61. So once we have the magnitude part, let me come for the answer conclusion part. I find the required area is root 61 by 2 square units should be the answer for 9th question. Now 10th question, read the question. It's a very simple question based on area of a parallelogram. So to begin with, they say the question, you can read from a text also. Find the area of the parallelogram whose adjacent sides are determined by vector A, I minus j plus 3k, and vector B, it's 2y minus 7j plus k. So formula we have, its magnitude of A cross B square units. A cross B had to perform. I got the answer 20i plus 5j minus 5k. Magnitude, please perform it. We find here 450. Okay, the factors you can list it out. 9 being a perfect square, 25 is a perfect square taken accordingly. We have 2. Final answer should say 15 root 2 square units is the answer. 11th question is also there in your text. You can read the question from your side. Okay, amongst the option you have to select the answer, whereas I have done it for you. The question says, let the vectors vector A and B be such that length of A is 3, length of B is root 2 by 3, given data. They also say that A cross B is a unit vector. If A cross B is a unit vector, then how it is in symbol form? Magnitude is equal to 1. Then if the question is if the angle between A and B is, amongst the option to select the answer. So theta is question mark I have taken accordingly. So after seeing the whole of the data, which formula I recollect here? Don't say A cross B, say it is magnitude of A cross B is equal to length of A, length of B sin theta. Put all the values, 3 will get simplified. I find the simplification as sin theta is 1 by root 2, and therefore I should conclude the answer by saying theta pi by 4. I think B option is the correct answer. 12th question, read the question from your text. Area of the rectangle having the vertices OA, OB, OC, OD are taken here accordingly is respectively, you have to find the area of rectangle. Area of rectangle. Rectangle means special type of parallelogram, and hence parallelogram formula will be applicable here. So I went for the vertices taken here, and AB vector I calculated. Okay, be careful. AB, BC, okay, BC also can consider here, whereas I have taken AB as well as AD. Two adjacent sides are taken. There is no harm in saying AB as well as BC also. They are representing two adjacent sides of a parallelogram or rectangle right now in this case. So I went for AB cross AD, cross product here. We have IJK, and I conclude the answer by saying it's minus 2K. Do the calculation from your side. Further, regarding the magnitude, it is root of 4, 2 square units. So amongst the option, C option is the correct answer. 2 square units is the required area for 12th question. Yeah. So after completing this topic, we have one more small topic to be discussed, that is a scalar triple product. Okay. So in the first video, of course, I have not discussed regarding this. This topic is not included in your syllabus. If you open the NCERT syllabus point of view, this topic is not to be discussed. Whereas the scalar triple product, one more name given for this because of symbol, box product. This topic is required in a 3-dimensional geometry, and to support that unit, to support that part, right, in the vector chapter itself, even this part we are going to discuss here. And it is given in your textbook also. Okay, it is given in your textbook also. If you will open it here, it's 10.5 exercise. It's 10.5. Okay, here we have scalar triple, okay, scalar chapter 10, scalar triple product. It is a page number 616. Okay, so even this part has to be concluded. So let's come for the definition here. One small exercise you have to solve it on scalar triple product here. Few questions are important from scalar triple product. Repeatedly, one 3 marks question we have seen in the board exam. So it's a very simple operation. Just go for definition. Just understand what exactly we are doing here. So to move on to the definition, if A, B, C, B and the 3 vectors, then a scalar product, dot product of vector A and B cross C. A and B cross C is called a scalar triple product of the vector ABC. So clearly they say that dot product between A and B cross C. This is how operation has to be performed. Symbol box has been used. Madhya ABC, vector ABC they have mentioned here. Normally we don't put comma here, but even if we put it also it's okay. But normally the box product symbol accordingly it moves here. So we have A dot B cross C. This is a symbol. This is how we are going to operate. Definition part I mean to say. Now note number 1. So if I'll ask you how to perform A dot B cross C, what's the answer? First you say B cross C. What in B cross C? Let me come back. Provide if A is given, B is given the components here. Accordingly. Then B cross C should be the scalar, so determinant value of 3 cross 3 order. And B cross C, I simplified it here. Okay, I kept as it is. Some terms, scalar terms will be left out, which I taken for my convenience. For your convenience, I am just denoting it by a single star. So we have B2C3 minus B3C2. If you want to write the whole term also, it's well and good. Here, minus J cap, close it. We have B1C3 minus C1B3. Everything if you want to write, you can write it. But I just taken as the common terms left out, double star and triple star. Just want to show what is B cross C. Provide if I done here B cross C. Now tell me what should happen with A dot B cross C. So for A dot B cross C, we know it very well how to perform the dot product. From here, it's A1. From this, I should say single star. A1, B1, A1, B1 plus A2, B2 plus A3, B3. So when I find this result, it is nothing but it is same as the previous result only, wherein I, J, K terms are simply replaced by A1, A2, A3. Does it not mean that in the determinant value, if I, J, K are replaced by A1, A2, A3, I'll get this whole result as A dot B cross C? I mean to say that the conclusion which I wanted to speak about here, that is A dot B cross C means instead of going for B cross C, then for dot product, straight away I can say that A dot B cross C is 3 cross 3 determinant value, where straight away vector A components can be taken as first row, B component second row, C components third row. Straight away can approach for 3 cross determinant value. So can I conclude the statement by saying this is symbol, this is definition. For numerical purpose, this one. For numerical purpose, straight away determinant value, and just open the determinant plus minus plus, you will get a scalar quantity, scalar answer. Hence, I should call this as a scalar product. But how many vectors are involved? 3 vectors. Therefore, I should say scalar triple product. So last answer should be scalar only. So note number 2, condition for 3 vectors to be coplanar. Important condition. When we say or how we can prove that 3 vectors are coplanar. Vector A, vector B, vector C. All 3 vectors are lying on the same plane. So if I have to prove that all the 3 vectors are lying on the same plane, then, okay, I justified it here. Suppose A, B, C are coplanar, then B cross C is perpendicular to the plane of the vector B and C. We know the meaning of B cross C. B cross C is already perpendicular to B as well as C. That means B and C are lying here. If A is also lying in the same plane where B and C are lying, then B cross C and A, are they not perpendicular? A and B cross C are also perpendicular. And what's the condition for perpendicular? Condition is dot product between A and B cross C if it is 0. Dot product between A and B cross C, which is nothing but determinant value. When I calculate, if I get the answer as 0, that means A, B and C, all 3 are lying on the same plane. So let me speak how I put them in the words. You can just have a look here. If A, B, C, suppose A, B, C are coplanar vector, then B cross C is already perpendicular to the plane of B and C. If A is also lying in the same plane where B and C are lying, then A is also perpendicular to B cross C. Perpendicular condition, we know it very well. Dot product between those 2 vectors should be 0. So this happen, this should happen, and this if the condition is required, then we can use this condition. So numerical, shortly we'll go for numerical sums based on this. And remember this condition. So one more note I have given here, scalar triple product is 0 if any vector is repeated in it. In the scalar triple product, if any vector is repeated, A, B and A, B and B, repeated, then we say that, I mean to say A dot B cross A, C dot C is repeated. Then scalar triple product answer will be definitely 0. Now why this should happen? See what I mean B cross A? B cross A is a vector perpendicular to A and B. B cross A is perpendicular to A as well as B. I am asking you dot between A and the one which is perpendicular to A. Obviously it has to be 0. Geometrical meaning. Whereas one more supporting unit also we have for this. That is in the properties of determinant, whenever 2 rows are identical. In a properties of determinant, whenever 2 rows are identical, determinant is 0. So accordingly we have here. So please copy these notes, and of course this part also you have to learn it. This is a supporting unit for one more concept which we'll be learning shortly in a three-dimensional geometry. There we go for the equation of plane and so on. In that concept, we require this scalar triple product. So numerical part is highlighted over there. So I think one question I can give as homework for you, just to make you busy, to keep you busy. Find the scalar triple product of the vector A 2 minus 1 3, B define, C define. So solution I should say. Okay, fine. The question is very straight away. They are going to ask you scalar triple product. So symbol A dot B cross C. Straight away can go for, okay, we'll give this part. Just go for 3 cross 3 determinant expansion. Straight away you can approach it. We have 2 minus 1 3. I have taken the components, vector A components, vector B components, vector C components. Okay, expand determinant value. Okay, you can just do it from your side. So next video, okay, I find the answer here is minus 15. Next video, I'll go for this question. A, B and C, and just go for the solution part. You find it to be minus 160. Verify the answer. Okay, I have one more here, A, B, C, and answer is 3. Okay, solve this question. In the next video, we'll discuss the solution part for this from the scalar triple product. Thank you.